Me and my partner have had very different experiences being parents, and it was clear it was going to be different from day one. I remember she was holding the baby in her arms, and she was crying, and she looked at the baby, and then she looked at me, and she said, "This is the greatest thing I've ever created." And I think she wanted me to say, "Me too," but the thing is, I have a Netflix special, and it's so good, like from beginning to end. Joke, joke, joke. It's wonderful the whole way through, and I just met this kid, you know what I mean? The jury is out, you know? People have called my child a COVID baby, which is inaccurate because he was not conceived during COVID. If you must know, he's a Honolulu Ritz Carlton vacation baby. The pandemic had nothing to do with it. He was conceived as a result of 200,000 Delta Sky miles. And 4 Mai Tais. Do you realize how hard it is to be pregnant during a global pandemic and how strange it is? It's just weird. It's like, you know, people are dying, there's death and despair and no hope, and you're bringing life into that? Having a child during a global pandemic is like buying real estate in Pompeii as Mount Vesuvius is erupting. Now, a little bit about that failed punchline. When I originally wrote that joke, the punchline was, it's like buying real estate in Ukraine as the Russians invaded. And your reaction is completely appropriate. It's a comedic concept known as too soon, right? So I'm like, I got that. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll just go to 79 AD, the destruction of Pompeii by Mount Vesuvius. And I discovered a new concept, too long ago. So I'm looking for a tragedy in the sweet spot. I haven't quite found it yet, but hopefully before the end of the night, I can find a horrific event to use as a metaphor that we can all laugh at together as a family. 9 hours after my child was born, he started twitching, and I got scared. I asked the nurse what was going on, and he's like, don't worry about it. He's just having a nightmare. A nightmare? He's 9 hours old! What on earth has happened during the first 9 hours? What, was he ripped out of the only place he knew as home and thrown into a land of bright lights and giants with no guarantees of food safety or shelter, with no real understanding of why he exists? And to be perfectly honest, the giants that run the show don't know why they exist either, you know? They're just hamsters running around a wheel, and all they know for sure is that they're cogs in capitalism, you know, a system they cannot destroy. So what are you twitching about? The nightmare begins now. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, life is terrible. Thank you. That was the lesson in that particular joke, yes. My mom told me that she heard when babies that small have nightmares, it's because their soul is remembering its previous life. And I don't know why she told me this. Why are you telling me that my son is possessed by a spirit with PTSD? So my child's just like, my wife, where's my wife? Oh my, I'm a baby? When did this happen? What'd I miss? Did Vesuvius explode?